Might be a good omen in some way.
And could you call Wayne Rooney Harold Shipman? Because he's often been caught sticking things into old age pensioners.
Yeah, Frank, I should say that we're not saying, are we, in any way, that Wayne Rooney is quite like Harold Shipman.
No,
we're not saying that.
Definitely not.
No,
We think Wayne Rooney's fantastic.
Yeah. Shall we go to the website? Because we've actually had quite a few people send in nickname suggestions.
Yeah, we want people to carry on sending them in, but we've had a few good first ones.
Yeah, we've had a fairly straight one. This is from someone who just calls themselves 23Niner, which is they've heard that David James can be called Dracula because he's so afraid of crosses, and then suggests Robo Crouch for Peter.
You see, I like one guy he sent in he's called Chelsea Clown, if I got the right one on there. Chelsea Clown, and he sent in a couple of kind of doubles. So Beckham and Lampard should be called Pencil and Biro because no pens.
Yes.
You see?
Yes, they don't.
No
pens.
But I do like this one from Chelsea Clown. He said that Peter Crouch could be named after the 60s pop stars Peter Tall and Scary.
That's brilliant.
I
That's
like
great.
that. Peter, Paul and Mary for our younger listeners.
Also, we had someone called Smudge, who, not being quite as inventive as Peter Tall and Scary, just says, well, we're talking about David James, we're talking footballers here, so surely it should be Jamesy.
But you know that's the only one that's got a real chance of becoming his nickname.
Yeah.
That probably is already his nickname. Vicky, nice to have a female breaking that stereotype of women in football. She says, hi, I don't know about a nickname for Crouch, but he does remind me of a ballet dancer, the way he prances around on the pitch.
What I particularly like about that is that she's done 7 exclamation marks after that.
No, I think they're actually artist impressions
of him
him
dancing. Yeah. We have one here which is also about Peter Crouch, which is interesting. They suggest row R2D2 after the penalty and all that blooming robotic dancing. So what he's tried to do there is combine aspects of Peter Crouch, which is both the penalty and the dancing, row R2D2. So he knocks the ball into row R2D2, then he does a dance like R2D2. I think there's too much going on in that nickname.
But you couldn't have a row R2D2, could you? Because it's row R.
D2.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he hasn't really worked it through. But
If it's a very big stadium, I suppose you could get row R2.
R and R2.
Well, I'm not happy with it.
No, but he's tried very hard with it.
And finally, from Neil UK, he says, this is back to David James, Jesse James is a possibility, as it's a clever reference to an historical bandit, while describing how he often plays between the sticks, like a Jesse.
Ah.
And then his homophobia breaks down even further and says, and a bandit, for that matter.
He's followed that one all the way through, which is excellent.
So that's a good start, though, I think.
Yeah, thank you very much. Keep them coming. Keep any nicknames coming for David James, or indeed anyone involved in the England team, or indeed anyone involved in the World Cup. And also keep your eyes on the website, because we will be posting different questions from time to time for you to send in your answers, and we'll feature them on this podcast or others. Well, I'm very pleased to say that now we have with us Morrissey, who's just popped in. Morrissey, I wonder if you can let me know how you felt about Jamie Carragher's performance yesterday.
Well, I don't think he's had a fair chance. He's a good passer of the ball.
And what did you think about Aaron Lennon? Did you feel that he didn't play as well in this friendly as he did in the previous one?
I thought it was interesting that Beckham stayed on with a slight injury. He was clearly afraid that Lennon would come on and do well.
Morrissey, thank you very much. In the next podcast, we'll be previewing the Paraguay game with Anthony from Anthony and the Johnsons.
So great news, Dave.
Yes.
We're sponsored by Dodge.
Yes.
These old podcasts are sponsored by Dodge. This is incredible. Dave said we can have one.
Well,
Not
me and
you. No,
Oh,
we can
that's
have
a bit
one as a
sporty.
competition prize. So we're actually going to give away a Dodge Caliber.
Excellent.
So it's alcohol free
Yeah.
as well.
Mm.
And we're going to give it away. And there's going to be, each of the podcasts will have a mystery voice on it, is what we'll do. And they're all going to be Football World Cup related. And we're going to play the voice. And then at the end, just before the end of it, we'll announce this is the last one. And then if you send us the whole list, and then the people who get them right, or as many right as they can, we'll put them into a big tombola, and the winner gets a Dodge Caliber.
Okay, so if you got that, you basically have to compile our squad, our World Cup squad, based on a series of mystery voices.
This is mystery voice number 1.
Wheeled away, arms up. Had he not been sure as a professional, he'd have put the ball away.
Started them off on, I would say, a fairly easy
Yeah,
one.
that one's pretty easy, but they're going to get a bit tougher. You're going to win a Dodge Caliber. You've got to earn it.
Yeah, so, okay, so listen to every podcast, and you might end up with a Dodge Caliber. Frank, did you read this thing a couple of days ago about how Rio Ferdinand played a practical joke on David Beckham?
I knew it something to do with the kidnap, but I don't actually know the detail.
Well, what happened was, David Beckham was just going somewhere. I think he was going to some kind of signing or something. And he got in the car, and it was a chauffeur, and just a chauffeur. And the chauffeur started taking him a really weird way through somewhere in Manchester to Moss Side, to like the hardest part of Manchester.
Right.
And after a while, David Beckham couldn't work out what was going on, and then he noticed a car behind him, which had some cameras in it. And he
Carbohydrate?
he didn't notice any carbohydrate.
Okay.
Yeah. He noticed a car behind him, and he got out the car and ran because he thought he was being kidnapped. Right. And then it was all stopped. It was all stopped, and it turned out that what this was is, and I didn't know about this program at all. Rio Ferdinand is doing a program for ITV called Rio's World Cup Wind-Ups.
Right.
And it was that the people in the car behind were his camera crew. And he had done a thing there where he was letting David Beckham think, oh, I've got some dodgy driver here, where's he taking me?
God.
But what worries me about that is that bloke was taking him through Moss Side, the most dangerous place in Manchester. So Rio's World Cup wind-ups might have ended up with some hoodies mugging David Beckham and making him, break his leg or whatever for the World Cup. I mean, what else is Rio's World Cup wind-ups going to involve? Accidentally dropping a funny brick onto Wayne Rooney's foot.
There's also a slight worry that it's that easy to kidnap David Beckham.
Yeah, but
I thought he'd have his people with him,
But also, apparently he was caught quite quickly, David Beckham, pace never having been his strong point.
Yeah.
He was caught quite quickly when he ran out of the car, and the camera crew stopped him, and then he understood. And initially, apparently, he was really, really furious, but then, because it seems to be the case that footballers' humour is always about practical jokery. They don't seem to have any other sort of sense of humour. It's always...
Imagine how high Bex's voice went when he was really... Can you imagine it?
Yeah, and Rio's got an odd voice as well, trying to explain, oh, it's all right now, don't worry about it, it's fine, it's only a little joke, I'm just trying to slaughter you now. No, leave it out, it's only But I don't know, because actually, while we're talking about it, we could make this maybe the next thread, because I do think that footballers...
Thread?
Yeah, the next thread on the website.
Right.
Because footballers are very keen on practical jokes. So if you know of any football practical jokes that you've either played on people or that you know that famous footballers have played on people, why don't you send them to us on our website?
Who, me?
No, not you. Our podcast listeners. You can send them in if you like, but you can tell me.
Dennis Irwin told me one, because Bob Taylor used to play for West Bromwich Albion.
Yes.
Super Bob. And they'd been at Leeds United together. And Dennis Irwin told me that they'd managed to convince Bob Taylor that he was playing an exhibition snooker match against Alex Hurricane Higgins.
Really?
To the point where Bob Taylor turned up at the pub in like a dicky bow and got his cue, and he got the waistcoat on and everything, and he turned up, took his coat off, and they all just fell about laughing.
That is quite a funny one, Mo. Because the thing is that I don't generally like practical jokes that much. Well, partly because I heard that Hitler was a practical joker. Did you
Was
know
he
that?
really?
That was Hitler's big thing, apart from obviously genocide.
The Anschluss.
Yeah,
was
apart from the
actually
Anschluss, right. Yeah, also just he loved a good practical joke.
Actually, he's slightly gone up in my estimation there. But he was fairly low in my estimation. I hope you're not going to be going on about Hitler throughout.
No,
Because when we're in Germany.
But I'm hoping there'll be an ITV show called